What's up, everybody? It's Lamika here with The Real About Entrepreneurship. And today I am doing my first ever in-person conversation because you know your girl been doing them via Zoom. And so I came across an amazing entrepreneur that I wanted to have a conversation with because whenever I find somebody that I'm like, you doing it and I want to figure out what you're doing, let's share the information. So Myowa, welcome to The Real About Entrepreneurship.
Thank you.
Yes. So I have been working out with Myowa for the last 2 weeks. She's been getting me together. And so I wanted to just sit down and have a conversation. So we're just going to be talking about her business and how she got started and what she's doing, just having a conversation. So I've said your name, but go ahead and tell us who you are and what your business is about.
All right. Hello. My name is Myowa Judkins, and I am here to help the community. Basically, it is a women's only gym. So I focus on just the betterment of women and helping women in the community feel better, teach them the do's and the don'ts and things like that. Right. And just helping women get to themselves. That's what's up.
I like that because when the first day I came, I was like, I used to go to school around the corner from here. Yeah. I know exactly what it is. So I do love that. So how did you decide that this was, something that you wanted to do by helping women in the community? And like, what was your journey to get here?
Well, I tell people all the time, me falling in love with working out came with depression. Like I was extremely depressed at one point in time. And, I just started working out, and that's where I found my peace. So, as I did that, I actually just fell in love with it outside of me, just going to break that depression. Once I started, I would post my different workouts online, and everybody's like, oh, I would love to do that. Can you come do this? Are you a trainer? And I'm like, no, I'm not a trainer. I'm not even interested in training. Like I never was interested in training. And one day I decided to have a class here in Anniston because I was living in Birmingham.
Okay.
I came home one weekend and I did a class, and I had about 26 to 30 people come.
Wow.
Yes. And I wasn't charging much because I was still working, and it was just I think I charged $4 or $5. And it was on a Sunday. And I was like, people really need this.
Yes.
People really need this. And it brought so much joy to me, to do that and be able to help people with something that helped me.
Right. No, I love that. So let me go back because I know exactly what you're talking about. So me, I'm originally from the Oxford area. I played basketball at Oxford. So I've always grown up working out. Right. But I do know when I don't work out and it's a struggle for me to get out of bed or for me to do certain things. When I look back, it's because I had either slowed up on my workouts or I had stopped working out. And so I have the thought to snap out of this, you need to go work out. So I completely get, what you're talking about. So, and for me, sometimes it's not even I just need to go outside and walk, even if it's something as a simple walk to be able to get it. So I completely get that. So that's what's up. So you started doing the classes, you were working full time. I also work full time. So I always tell people that your business, your job is like your first business partner.
Yes.
So because you were working, what made you go through with the idea of I'm just going to move forward with teaching these classes? I'm gonna make it a business because you started out doing, okay, this is something that helped me feel good. And now other people are seeing it. What made you go forward to make it a business?
I believe I started doing the classes and then I started to do them more regularly.
Okay.
After that, I pretty much saw the demand for it. So I'm like, this could be something. But also having a secure job is I don't really have the time to do this and this. So I think it was just something that I'm going to say God pushed me to do. I remember one day, being unhappy with my job. And I was writing my journal and I was just like, God, there's something more for me. I'm supposed to be doing something else. And I was just crying so bad. And it was after I calmed down, I kept writing in my journal and I just started saying oh, I would love to do this. Or I would love to do this. And training still wasn't at the top. It was more so.
Listen, y'all, she is fine. I don't know how she said that she wasn't a trainer. I would have never known that you were not, because because I asked her while working out, I was like, did you run track? And she was like, no,
people ask me that all the time. It's just like something, I guess I was more of a, where's the security for life? You know, like big, like finance wise, where's the security? I just needed it to make sense to me. So by the time, you know, I realized this is really what I want to do, I said, let me just go ahead while I'm still working, get certified and things like that. And then I'll move on. And some things happened with my job where I was just like, you know, I'm ready to leave. And I just decided to leave.
Right. But I like the fact that you took you had a plan in place. Like you took you got certifications, you did, like, so many people come to me and say, oh, I want to start my own business, I'm ready to leave my job, but they don't have no plan. Right. Right. They didn't work that plan out. Right. But at least you worked that plan out and you figured it out before just saying, I'm leaving my job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you never want to be in a situation where it's like, okay, I didn't think this through. And even though, regardless of how much planning you think you do, it's going to be something that comes about, and it's like, well, I would have never saw that coming. True, you know, it is just, I think it's just learning as you go. But I'm glad I took this.
I'm glad you took the step too, because one of the challenges is when I'm in this area is finding somewhere to work out. So when my cousin referred me to you, I was like, this is perfect. When I'm at home, I can make sure I am working out in the way I need to. Because for me, coming up with my workout, like I know what to do, but to now have to think, okay, today I'm going to do this. I prefer somebody already have that plan laid out for me. Let me just show up and let me do what I'm supposed to do.
You tell me what to do, and then I'm here. I'll do it.
Right. And she has definitely done that for me. So I definitely appreciate that. But okay, so a lot of people will say, like, I want to do something, and they do work that job. What pushed you on those days where you like, I really don't feel like, you know, studying for this certification, or I don't want, like, how did you hold yourself accountable once you decided that I'm going to go down this path? How did you hold yourself accountable to keep pushing forward? Because you're tired after you done worked all day and all that kind of stuff. So what did you do to hold yourself accountable?
Trust me, that was the hardest. And I will just add, I was working in Montgomery, but living in Birmingham. So that added to just the, you know, it was a lot. And I think more so, just once I made up my mind, it was more so of, you told yourself you would do this. This is something that you are passionate about. So if that's what it is, do it.
That's what's up.
There were days when I'm like, okay, I don't feel like studying for this. And like, but the time is running out. Like, you have to go ahead and, you know, take the test, become certified and things like that. So it's just like focusing on the end goal.
Okay.
Even though it never ends, it's just something new, another level each time. But focusing on that goal is just get it done.
Right.
And that's just always how I've thought of
that makes
anything.
Sense.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. So now that, so you are, and she's got her building and she's like really doing it. She has classes. Like, before you got to where you had a space for people to work out, like, were you teaching classes somewhere else?
Yes.
Or like?
Yes. Wherever I could find space, everywhere. So I did a lot of outdoor workouts. We were at Oxford Lake, like Chocolate Park. We then Planet Fitness opened, and I would, you know, sneak in there because they don't want you to, you know, train there. So I would sneak in there, and any gyms I could think of that I could just like work my way through to train on my own without having, you know, to be under anyone else. I would do that. It was a lot of times when we had to cancel sessions because of outdoor workouts, if it's raining and things like that. So that was just something else that was like, okay, like, are you going to do this? Like give it your all.
Right.
So.
But I like that, because a lot of people will see you and think they have to start where you are now.
Right.
But they don't realize that you built to get to this.
My gym used to be in my trunk. So in the trunk of my car, that was my gym. It's like just on the go. So wherever you need me to be, like, that's what we'll be. And I used to pull stuff out, have my wagon to drag it wherever. And like, I don't even think I've thought about that in a while since now. And it's like, wow.
Well, that to me, that's that when there's a will, there's a way type of a situation. And a lot of times, I think people think entrepreneurship is glamorous, and because they see the end result, but they don't see the behind the scenes of what you had to do for it to look how it looks, you know, to the public. So that's why I always like to share kind of like, what's your backstory of getting to what we see today? Because, you know, people will think, I'm finna date myself. It goes back to kind of like MTV Cribs. Like they show up and they got this beautiful home, but they don't show kind of like the behind the scenes or what it took for them to get there. So I always like to share like what they had to do to be able to get there. So that's what's up. So how long have you had your own gym?
Let's see. This was back in 2020.
Oh wow. So
when we purchased, This was then, no, I'm sorry, 2021. 2021, because I left my job in 2020.
Okay.
And in March of 2021 was when it was purchased. And what was so funny, like January, I think, of 2021, there was supposed to be this like ice storm or like real bad weather. So I came home to stay with my mom, and she was flipping through this buy home sales book. And she was like, Myowa, look at this building I found. This could be your gym. And I'm like, I don't want to move back home. And she's like, they're only asking for blah, blah, blah. She was like, I know the realtor here. I'm going to call him and see if he'll take half. I said, if he take half, I'm moving.
Right. I'm here.
And here we are. Like they took half. And I was like, this is insane. I had so many people to say, well, they were asking me like this large number. And that's when I was just like, God is amazing. Like, they were asking another person for this large number, and then they gave it to me for half.
Yeah. But you put it out there. If they give it to me for half,
it's mine. Like, and that's how I know, like, I was supposed to be right here where I am. So
I love that, because this is in the heart of the community. Like I said, I grew up, or I went to Catholic school not too far from here, all Black Catholic school. So we're in the heart of a Black community, and being able to serve. So, and I'm gonna go back, because I don't want to miss the fact that she owns some real estate. She just didn't start a business, but she also has real estate. So that's just an extension of another way to earn off of the same thing that she's already doing. So I'm gonna come back to that. But you mentioned, being in the community. Do you, being in here, do you hold any classes outside for like community people to come in and do different things? Or like, how do you be a part of the community and getting them to work out?
Right. So right now I have worked with a couple different people in the community, but right now I'm working with some ladies at a church.
Nice.
So I actually go to them on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. And, they're older ladies, so the workouts aren't really bad.
Right,
like, it's cute workouts. Like, they enjoy it. Right. They are always excited to see me coming. So that's exciting. Okay. Because it's getting them moving, keeping them, active. And so I go out to them. We have a good time. That's what's up. About 30, 45 minutes. And then, they just continue their day. Now, I've had a few different young girls to come here, and I can't remember what's like. They're pretty close in the area, but it's like a group home type of thing. And they just had an outing one day where they came here, and then they visited another Black business. And then I also went to the juvenile correctional, and just for that group home. And I just, introduced them to some different workouts and things like that. So people in the community have requested me to come, be with their younger girls to show them things and, just different ways of releasing any aggression and things like that. Yes. And just like I said, it helped me with depression. So I would always tell the young girls, this definitely is a way to help. Just get up and move. Like if you feel frustrated throughout the day, instead of taking it out like this, do this. Yes. So
I'm a big believer. I'll either take a nap and then or I will go outside and I will walk. So I mean, it's a huge just being outside. Because first of all, I will have you run these hills. most of the days I really don't want to do it, but I do it because obviously we've been working out inside. But when I go outside, it just gives me a whole nother energy to, give me that boost to go through the day. So I completely get it about, the exercise and just, like taking a walk and doing stuff like that. So that's what's up. So I love the community activity. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Myowa Owning Real Estate. So a lot of times I know for me, so I have I've had a ton of different businesses. But the one that a lot of people, I guess, know me for is my business called Height Goddess, which is a lifestyle brand for tall women. I started out making jeans because I didn't have jeans to wear. And I used to wear my daddy jeans, and he'd be like, girl, where my stuff at? Okay. I'll be like, girl, we done tailored this.
Right. These are mine now.
Yeah, because, as a tall woman, it was difficult for me to find clothing growing up. Luckily, my mom and my dad were both in the retail industry, and my mom was a buyer. So she would get clothes for me that we were able to make adjustments to because it was difficult to find stuff. But one of the things in starting that business, it is a capital intensive business to own a clothing line. So for the people that keep asking me, when you gonna bring some new stuff out? Buy what I got first, okay? Anyway, we're gonna come back over here.
I know that's right.
So a lot of it's a capital intensive business. It's a capital intensive business. So for you to, start your gym and like, is that capital intensive? Like, how did you get your funding to be able to do what you're doing right now?
Right. So honestly, I took my savings and the blessings of my mom.
Nice.
And I will be honest and say, like, outside of like the things that we had to do to fix up the place, the community itself and the people that just like know my mom, know me. I had so much given to me.
That's what's up.
That I knew without a doubt this was my lane.
That's
like I knew without a doubt, because so many people was like, oh, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? And it was like God had already prepared it for me. Yeah. So I was like, it wasn't really that difficult. It was just like the timing.
Right.
It was like perfect timing with everything. I was extremely blessed.
That's good.
To just, I put in, what I could put in. My mom, she really blessed me a lot, and the community.
Yeah. And that's why I say that. First of all, she said savings, but how she got to that savings, I'm assuming you got to that savings by having a job.
Right.
That's why I say, that's why I say that your job, whatever that job is, it's your first business partner. So while most people, and I'm the same way. Some days I don't like getting up and doing my job and all that kind of stuff. But I also look at it in a different lens to know that job provides me the ability to not just pay my bills, but it allows me the ability to do the things that I enjoy, such as starting a business that can give me an avenue not to work somewhere for 20 years. So it's really a mindset change that people have to look at. But she was able to, save money for it because you had the job. So I always like to point that out because people don't, they're so focused on they don't like the job that they're not thinking about how to use it.
I would always say stick it out as long as you can. If you can make both of them work at the same time, do that as long as you can until you find that comfortable space where it's like, this makes sense now. Like the numbers are adding up and it makes sense. Because if you don't, like, you're going to run into those hiccups where it's like, you need more money than you have. And regardless of, credit and loans and things like that, or even grants, like sometimes you just still need that extra cushion.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
Just stick it out until you figure it out.
Right. So y'all don't quit that job yet.
Don't quit yet.
So you got it together. Okay. All right. So, so we know the community has helped you and that's been a benefit, but what challenges have you faced in growing your business?
I will say, just with any business, when you're not super well known as far as like beyond your city, your city can be excited and ready to, like do whatever you have to, or buy whatever you have to offer when you're first getting started.
Right.
It is difficult to, I guess, keep people in the mindset of you need to work out. Working out is, is beneficial for your life. And I think people are lazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, like,
Look. Let me tell you something. They are lazy.
They are.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's more so of a mindset thing. I definitely find joy in breaking people out of that because there are a lot of people that's like, oh my goodness, I need your help. Like, I want to do this, but I just can't find my way to get my car to drive there. And it's like breaking people out of that it's tough, but it's rewarding for me when it's like, okay, I remember you came in here and you dreaded it. Now you're coming in here like, hey girl, you know, and you're ready to work out. So I like that part of it, but it is difficult being like in a smaller city and really wanting people to understand the benefits of it, or, you know, just wanting to get up and do.
Right. You know, because I invited some people to come work out with me when I came. And they was like, girl, we are not where you are.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is that I try to, and obviously people have to come to it when they're ready to come to it. But the one thing that I like to share with people is, but I had to start somewhere. Yes. So if you keep saying I'm not where you are, because when I look at you, I'm like, fine, okay. But I know you've put in work to get there, and I got to start, like you said, my own body goals. I got to start where I am to be able to get there.
I also think people think working out is a one size fits all. Like, you know, whatever workout you see me doing, that may not be where that's definitely not going to be where you start.
Right.
You know? And so I think when people think, oh, a group class, and it's not just a, you know, me and you one-on-one thing, they, you know, get scared. But I'm like, listen, your pace, your race, I don't care what the exercise is that we're doing that day. Speak up. Let me know, like, hey, this isn't working for me. We'll figure it out. We'll make something work for you. And then you're going at your pace. You don't have to compete against the next person lifting 50 pounds compared to your 8 pounds, you know? So I think that's something where people are just unaware of that part. You know, I don't think they, you know, intentionally like, you know, girl, I don't want to do it. It's like, just the fear of the unknown.
And the fear of the unknown. And you have to be intentional. Like, I knew I was going to be here for a while. So I'm like, I need to make sure that, because if I just leave it up to myself to go to Planet Fitness, some days I may feel like not doing it. And so I needed to hedge my bet on, like, let me find somebody that can help me. But I also understand that everybody doesn't. And that's what they tell me. Everybody not like you. They're not going. I'm like, but if this is what you say, because I'm all about, if this is what you say you want to do, all right, let's do it. And I'm the person that if you tell me you want to do something and I follow back up with you, I'm like, okay, did you do?
You're right. It's like, well, no, right.
What we doing? Okay, so that makes sense. And that's what I like to do, is like, when I find out about somebody, which is why we're doing this video, is because I think you're amazing, and I'm like, I want to just, you know, share your business. You know, so for anybody that is in the Anniston, Oxford, Jacksonville area, and they're looking and they want to work out with somebody, this is what you want to do. And like she said, it's at your own pace. And that's the part that I do, you know, that I do love about coming here, is that everybody is working out at their own pace. And but I get that everybody has to get there when I want to, but it can be an anxiety, especially the first time I'm coming in here. I'm like, oh Lord, I don't know.
Yeah, like what to expect. And I always try to say you'll be fine, but when it's coming from me, I guess they're like, girl, what does that mean? Like, you know, what does that mean?
That you'll be fine. That's my anxiety going evil. You know, it make it go.
Because it can be like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, but you'll be fine, or it's like, no, you'll really be fine. But I think it really just depends. You know, some people, everybody's different. But typically people come in and like, oh, I love it. Like, you know, it's going to take some adjusting, but you're not like, I try not to be that hardcore. Like, I try to have like different conversations where you don't even really feel like you're going through the motions of working out. Like,
it goes by fast. Cause that one morning I was like, you know what? I don't even want to do this. And then I was like, it's going to be 45 minutes. All you need to do is just get up. And then once I got here, I was like, I'm glad I did.
And it goes through. So it's like some people, you know, like they like to have that conversation. It's like some exercises you, like, I can't say too much right now. Like, let me just get through this. But it's definitely, I think that conversation just helps, instead of me just be like, come on, let's hit it. Even though sometimes they need that from me. And it's like,
see, I'm that person.
What? Yeah, you need that. Like, let's go. And I love that energy, but it's like, I've realized that some people are like, you know, a little timid. I think that's probably where I've gotten that like more so of a conversation from, because it's like I was scared to push a lot of people away because a lot of people that come in here aren't used to working out.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, it's like, I think that's probably different, but
that's good because I am not that person.
Yeah.
I have had I've had a natural weight loss business, and it's all about in how you eat and everything. And if you come in there and you tell me you want to lose X amount, and then you come back them 10 days later and you telling me you ain't done, I'm like, wait a minute.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Like, I have literally given people their money back because I really want you to do what you said you wanted to do. So that is something that I have to work on because I'm just like, okay, you said you want to do it. Let you know.
And you know, I definitely need, I think, to be more in that way because there's definitely some people I'm like, I'm not gonna even respond to them anymore because you've said to me 20 times that you were coming.
Yeah.
And you had me like, all right, girl, are you ready?
What we doing?
And it's like, what's going on? Like, I know you want this, so let's just do it.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So how do you? So that's kind of like the low, I guess the harder part of it. But for marketing your business, has there been one thing that you've done or not? Because I know there's a multitude of things, but is there something that works best for you to get, new clients?
A lot of times, of course, with those before and after pictures, that is for sure top tier marketing for me. A lot of times, I could post a fun class and they're like, oh yeah, I'm coming.
Okay.
The before and after pictures gets more of the buzz going and that like they want to see like, oh, what are they doing? And I'm like, they're working out in Upright. Simple. Like 1 + 1, that's literally it.
Right.
And also I think more so when people do the marketing for me.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's how I got here. That's true.
When people do the marketing for me, that's more of, what gets people in. So somebody can post like, oh, I just left my own body goals or, oh, here are my before and after pictures. I lost XYZ amount. I had a young lady recently post her before and after pictures and she started, I think back in February and her goal was to go, I think maybe it was January, but her goal was to, work out until her birthday. Everybody wants to be good for their birthday.
That's why I'm in here.
And so, she sent me her pictures. And I was like, girl, these are good.
I have never been bold enough to take before pictures.
Really? I cannot stand when I tell a client, because I do virtual training as well. So I always tell them like, hey, please take those pictures because I can't see you to be like, hey, we about to take pictures today. So I'm like, please take those pictures. And then 3 weeks later, they'll be like, well, my clothes fit different. I'm like, well, did you take pictures? No, I wish I would have.
I don't even wish I would have. I ain't taking a picture. Like, I ain't gonna do it. I do not need that reminder in my phone.
I already know what I look. I already know. Yeah. And when I take this picture next in 2 months, I know I look better.
Right.
But yeah, I think is the top of the top for marketing for me, because when she made that post of, her before and then now, my inbox was going crazy. Okay. And that was on Facebook. But also, everybody has all these different social medias where they post me and people, reach out. So because I'm not really on Snapchat or things like that, but a lot of people post me there.
Okay.
And so people still convert that into Facebook or they, get my number. So definitely word of mouth for me is
that's
the
good.
best.
Yeah, I like word of mouth. Like I said, that's how I got here. So
it's the cheapest form of marketing.
You're right. It is. So we like that.
We like it.
So and we've talked about how you got started in doing it. It was a depression, and you want to get out of that. Entrepreneurship comes with highs and lows, and baby, I will ride it to the top, and then I'm like, oh my god. So how do you manage that?
I will say, it's still a learning process for sure. I think I haven't experienced any extreme lows in a while, but when I first started, I had those extreme highs. Like I just said, community was all behind it, and place was jam-packed. Thank God. But then it's like you come to that point where it's those low lows where business isn't going the way you think.
Rethinking your whole life.
Yes, and it's like, okay, did I make the right decision for real?
Right.
And it's like you're having to pull money out of a savings because like this is like the money isn't adding up and you still
Yes.
have bills to pay.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. You have to come up with different ways.
Yes.
To engage people again, to get their attention. So that's when I would come up with different classes to take those lows to at least a medium.
Right.
You know? But the highs, of course, you know, we enjoy those.
Yes,
we figure out what time period this was or what they may have liked, you know, so we can like, okay, well, this might be a, you know, reoccurring thing where the highs are these months and the lows are these months. Yes. So it's like you want to prepare for those maybe lows, and then that way you can still ride it out.
Right.
But yeah.
No, and I like that because a lot of times what's presented is that everything is great.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, everything is great. And so, but I think, and that goes the part where people thinking that it's all glamorous. So like you said, it's a continual, you're like really trying to figure it out all the time on how to manage them. And if you have things, especially if your business is cyclical, then you know, like, okay, I know it's going to be here because everybody's getting ready for a spring break and then the summertime is coming. So I know that it's going to be busy. But then when the holiday season comes, everybody, it's time to eat.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, I'll just wait because like I'm about to eat this and Thanksgiving. And I'm like, okay. Well.
Right. So if I am able to manage that, then, you know, then it definitely helps. So I definitely get it because for me, I'm like, I was asking somebody else that I'm going to have, someone on and she's a therapist. And I'm like, girl, we need to talk about this entrepreneur roller coaster because I need some tips because it's definitely a roller coaster and it's difficult when all you see is everybody's highs.
Yes.
And you don't see how they overcome the lows or what they're doing in the lows, or you find out about, you know, how they overcame it after they've overcome it. So you're like, I need you to tell me in the moment.
Yes.
how you overcome it.
And you know, I think, when going to find that, like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's making it look so glamorous. And it's like, this is something, at one point, everybody's like, you should become an entrepreneur. You should become an entrepreneur. And it's like, they make it look so good.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a lot of lows.
It's a lot of lows. And for me, because with the clothing line, I do photo shoots. And with those photo shoots, everybody sees the outcome of that. But in order for me to get to that photo shoot, to get that beautiful picture, I had to go through a whole lot in order to do it. And it's just like, it's not what y'all think it is.
It's not.
It is not what you think it is. But it's fun. So I always I just want to make sure that they get the real about entrepreneurship.
Because I don't regret it at all. Exactly. But it's some adjusting when you know, like, oh, you may be watching this one person that has you like hooked on, like, yeah, I'm ready to quit my job. If she can do it, I can do it. And all she did was show you the 6 figures she probably made, but she didn't show you the first, you know, maybe year or two.
And even the 6 figures that she made, is that gross or is that net? Like, I need y'all to tell me that.
Hello, like, how much did you really make? You know,
I need to know how much of that you kept. And then the other thing is that when you're making, like you said, making sure people understand like the different pieces of that and the income of what somebody says that they made. I've always had to pick through that because I'm like, what am I doing wrong over here? And then you have a conversation with them. You're like, girl, or they got a husband that's able to provide so that they can do it. So it's not so much about being able to, I'm not having to rely on my business to maintain my lifestyle. So there's a backstory to how they're able to do whatever that is. And so that's why I'm always like, okay, well, you gave me the story, but now you got me out here thinking I can just leave my job and I'm going to make this money, but I don't really know the full story.
Like we of course have to understand that with social media, everybody just puts out their best.
Yes.
You know, just like you put out your best, that entrepreneur or whatever the case may be, they're putting out their best. Right. So it's going to seem like everything may have been a breeze for them. Right. You know, that everything may have been easy, but you know, your story is going to always be your story. Exactly. And regardless, you'll be like, it'll be a good story to tell. Right. But
and that's one of the things that I have is like, enjoy the journey. It tells your story.
Oh yeah.
Because I think sometimes we rush through and we want to get to the good part. Whereas the meat of it and the interesting part is how we got to whatever the goal was that we wanted. So yeah, I love that. I think we talked about this. So we talked about the highs and lows. So for the people that are watching, as we wrap this up, those that are watching, do you offer, is it all in-person classes? Do you do online classes? Like if somebody wants to work with you and they're not from this area, is that possible?
Yes, it is definitely possible. I offer virtual training and I absolutely love it. Listen, I when I first started training, I started with virtual.
Okay.
And then I moved into the gym to, and the outdoor workouts. And then I gave virtual a break for a while because I was able to, be one-on-one or in person. But I just recently this year moved back to virtual and I do it for 3 weeks out of the month. Okay. So we do get a slight break. But I train 3 days a week. That's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 6:45 p.m. And my clients have seen amazing results.
That's what's up.
I prayed about it a lot before I really got back into virtual because it's something that I wanted to be able to engage with people because you have to make it interesting. Because if you're at home,
right,
and it's like, I don't really want to get on today.
Exactly. And you got all the environment of what's at home.
Yeah. And it's keeping people engaged to want to complete a workout. That was something I really wanted to do because you can easily click off or not have your camera on. Like, well, I logged in, she'll see. Yeah. So it's like, but yeah, I love virtual training. Like I said, 3 days a week for 3 weeks each month.
That's what's up.
And it's been good.
I like it. So for those that, we talked about social media. So if someone wants to interact with you, how do they find you? Where do they go? What are your social media handles?
On Facebook, you can find me at My Own Body Goals. That's MYOWN Body Goals. And also Myowa Judkins, MYOWA Judkins. And on Instagram as well, Myowa Judkins and My Own Body Goals.
I like it. That's what's up. Wait a minute. Is your name?
Yes. So listen, I'm telling you, it was all God. Like I was literally writing down in my notebook. I'm telling you.
I literally just got that.
Literally. So My Own Body, I just sat down. I was like, I kind of wanted to play off my name. I was like, but how could it do that? And I first wrote it down. I was like, body goals. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, it's like My Own Body Goals. I'm like, girl, genius.
I literally just got that in this moment. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that her? I'm like, I don't want to say it out loud because it might not be the right thing, but let me just go and ask her. That's what's
Definitely, yeah. I think when people realize, they're like, girl, I didn't even. Okay. And some people automatically see it and they think it's like Myowa Body Goals. And I'm like, no, My Own Body Goals, but my name.
I didn't even get it. But if we circle back to how you got here. So basically you took your own name to help you with depression, to create something for a community for other people to get it. Got to be more careful. Did you just
listen? It's I don't even think I think about it more.
Like that's what's up.
Yeah.
Right. That's what's up. So look. Y'all check out Myowa, and whether you virtually or you're in the Anniston, Oxford, Jacksonville area, come work out with her.
Come work out.
Even if you just get it started, because you have to start.
You
somewhere.
have to.
Gotta start.
You have to.
Yeah, you gotta start.
And now you've met me. Yeah. No reason not to come.
I'm telling you, I have worked out. Like I said, I play basketball, college basketball, but I was still nervous coming in here. Okay, so I get where you're coming from, but if what you say you want to do, and if you want to look good and you want to feel good, then just come through.
Right? Stop by, pull up.
Yeah, pull up. So that's what's up. So make sure that you guys go ahead and smash that subscribe button, so that I continue to bring you content. This is my first interview in person. I'm so glad to be the first. I told Mom, I said, look, girl, I don't know what I'm doing, but we gonna do this anyway.
And we did it.
So I thank you for doing this. This was great. Myowa is great. I love talking to entrepreneurs who are doing their thing, who are doing what they say they want to do. So if you are an entrepreneur and you're doing what you said you want to do, hit me up. I love talking to entrepreneurs. So until the next video,